or some sort of loud game around its bumper. A middle-aged man was also inspecting the sports car while dodging my children, and I noticed a smiling salesman already approaching him, hand outstretched in greeting. I stood by myself for 5 more minutes, but when no salesperson came my way, I began following my kids from car to car. Finally, after about 17 minutes, but who was counting? A young man from the dealership approached, his eyes moving from me to my kids, who were all packed into a car, honking the horn, laughing and yelling at each other. The salesman's eyes widened, and he gave a big exhale as he came closer. I could hear the thoughts swimming around in his head. Great, another mom and her kids. He continued to saunter over. It felt like I was witnessing a slow-motion sequence in a movie, and stopped about 3 feet in front of me. He looked quite concerned. Ma'am, are you doing okay?" he asked, before looking around the rest of the showroom. "Is your husband here?" I narrowed my eyes. "Well, I'm the one who—" "Should I call him over?" he asked without making eye contact. I raised my eyebrows, frowned at him, but the young man ignored my folded arms and tapping foot, still searching for the man of the house, the assumed purchaser. He ignored my puzzled expression and negative body language. I felt sick to my stomach, even a bit lightheaded, as the sad realization hit me. We are in the 21st century, and women are still being overlooked as influential, competent consumers with strong buying power, who are also keenly discerning. The salesman still hadn't asked me my name or attempted to uncover what I was looking for in a vehicle, all because I was a woman. I finally locked my eyes with his and said, "I will be purchasing this vehicle. I am the one you should be serving." His eyes grew wider, and a slow smile stretched across his face, but before he could speak, I continued, "But I won't be buying it from you." Rounding up my kids, I headed for the door, leaving the salesman in the dust. In a swift few seconds, we'd left the dealership, kids and all. We piled into the car, and I turned to my kids. "Can you believe that?" My daughter shrugged her shoulders. "Believe what?" Now my eyes were wide. How that sales associate behaved? He completely ignored me and wouldn't even speak to me because I was a woman. I suppose my kids must have seen the steam blowing out of my ears or my face turning red, because they all looked suitably horrified. "Let's get out of here," I said, backing out of the parking lot. At each of the 3 dealerships we visited later that afternoon, my experience was identical. Each salesman nonchalantly wandered over to me, eventually, but only to ask where my husband was, never thinking to engage me as the purchaser. I went home that day feeling deflated, disappointed, and honestly confused. What had happened? I had been informed and prepared, feeling excited. All I'd wanted to do was to give a lot of money to a dealership that I respected. Was that such a tall order to fill? Apparently so, in my case. Later that evening, I thought even more about what had happened. As a brand experience expert, I was shocked at the disconnect between the service, if you could even call it that, and the ticket price of the item for purchase. I knew that from a sales standpoint, next to a home, a car was the second largest purchase the average person tends to make. But as a woman, I was appalled at how poorly I'd been treated. In an age when women own over 9 million businesses, employ more than 8 million people, and generate $1.4 trillion in sales, all while raising kids and keeping up a household, we are still mostly disregarded when it comes to being respected as purchasers for both small and big ticket items. So I began my investigation. I hopped on Amazon and ordered every book I could find on the customer experience and the female consumer. Not to my surprise, there were